'Tis the season for gathering together and feeling grateful for the blessings in our life at Thanksgiving time. But what can you do if people around you just aren't feeling it and they're bringing their negativity and mean-spiritedness to the table? Well, board-certified life coach Marlene Boas has some strategies to rise above it. And Marlene, I love this phrase, attitude of gratitude, because that's really what we need to always have, especially this time of year, right?
Right, and it's a reminder at Thanksgiving that this is the time to be grateful for all good things in your life. And so, you know, that's obvious with the name of the holiday. But we can take it a step further to really focusing on self-reflection.
And what sort of steps should we do? Like how should we reflect?
Well, and the reason it's important to reflect on ourselves, because it's not like what we do or how the people receive it, okay? So is what I am feeling, what I'm expressing, is it what they're receiving?
Oh, because you might think you're being gracious and wonderful and you're being received a whole different way.
Exactly.
Like frantic or whatever.
Exactly,
Yeah.
or you might think you're funny.
Right, and you're not. Marlene, you're trying to tell me something.
No. So really to do some deep self-reflection, to look at yourself, and really, you know, and we talk on here a lot about values, is what you're really, you know, and it goes with gratitude. It's like the other side of it. What do you bring to the table, so to speak, in terms of your relationships? What do people admire about you? What do they ask you for? And so you start to look at that. Is what you're sending out being received by them?
And how should you like do this sort of self-appraisal? Is it something like, I almost feel like I should set up a video camera and watch what I'm saying to people,
well,
which seems weird, but
well, does it seem weird in this day and age with all the selfies and everything? Well, you know, a lot of it is just thinking about it and reflecting on experiences and reflecting on interactions and taking the time. It's really dedicated time.
Yeah.
To say, how did I do today? And what did I bring my best to that relationship? What could I have done better? What went well? And pay attention and listen and look at the person you're interacting with.
How do you deal with someone who, we were talking about like the Debbie Downers. So maybe, you know, you've got a Debbie Downer in your family. This person is coming to the Thanksgiving table. You've experienced it before where, you know, it's so contagious when someone has that kind of mood. How do you combat that in a way that you can keep a smile on your face?
Yeah, that's part of it. What I do personally and what I would coach people to do, because a lot of this stuff is what a life coach does, is help you reflect, hold a mirror up so you can look at yourself and make some changes. If I'm with somebody who's really down and a Debbie Downer, I sort of, in my head, go, boy, that person has some challenges. I'm glad I'm not there. I like living in my skin, and I use that as an education for myself. And then sometimes to redirect or find a positive to maybe help them move away from that. But sometimes it's not possible, so.
Right. And in real life, you might separate yourself from the Debbie Downer, but at the Thanksgiving table, there's only so many seats up there to, you know, get away.
Well, and also, if you're hosting it, you might want to start and say, hey, this is going to be a great Thanksgiving. Let's try to stay positive. You can try to offset that stuff, you know, in the initial phase of it, too.
And quickly, if politics come up and you've got a table divided, what advice might you give?
Well, you know, so we're so tribal now, but let's remember the most important tribe at a Thanksgiving dinner is the family.
Yeah.
And so maybe to focus on that, and if you know there are going to be political differences, just call a truce for the dinner and the evening. And bring it back to the focus of what's really important.
Such good advice. I always feel better when you're here, Marlene. Thank you very much.
I love being here.
It's fantastic. Well, board-certified life coach Marlene Boas and regular PTL contributor, thank you. And look for more helpful advice on Marlene's website, and you'll find the link to that at pittsburghtodaylive.com.